Since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up on Prime Time, 3 more COVID-19 related deaths reported last night bring Guam's total to 55 since March. Also, a youth home under the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center is locked down after staff and youth clients tested positive. And the weekend saw indoor religious services finally being held.
Good evening, I'm Adriana Cotero. The number of COVID-related fatalities has gone up again. Late last night, the Joint Information Center announced 3 more deaths. The 53rd COVID-19 related fatality occurred at the Guam Regional Medical City just before 6 p.m. this past Saturday. The patient was a 68-year-old man with underlying health conditions. He was admitted to GRMC that day and tested positive upon admission. The 54th COVID-19 related death also occurred at GRMC at approximately 6 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. The patient was a 47-year-old woman with comorbidities. The patient was admitted to GRMC that same day and tested positive upon admission. And the 55th COVID-19 related death occurred at Guam Memorial Hospital at approximately 7 o'clock last night. The patient was a 51-year-old woman with comorbidities. She was admitted to GMH yesterday and tested positive upon admission. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero saying, quote, "I am saddened with the news of 3 more members of our community who have succumbed to the terrible virus." She adds, "Don't wait until it's too late to get help." COVID-19 related or not, the best thing you can do for your health is get treatment. If you're feeling sick, go to the doctors or call 311 to reach our nurse triage hotline if you need more information. The sooner you come in, the sooner our doctors and nurses can treat you and help you get better. As for the latest numbers, out of 609 samples ran at various labs, 54 returned positive. This brings Guam's COVID case count to 2,753. 804 residents are actively fighting the virus, with more than 1,800 people recovered. As for the hospitalization rate at GMH, the JIC reports as of last night, 33 COVID patients were hospitalized at GMH, with 13 receiving ICU level of care. The CNMI government, meanwhile, announces 2 more additional COVID positive cases, bringing their total COVID count to 75. According to a media release, the individuals were identified by travel screening and confirmed diagnosis through testing upon arrival. They have been moved to a designated isolation area for monitoring, and contact tracing has begun. COVID hospitalizations continue to climb. According to Hospital Administrator Lilian Posadas, there are currently 40 COVID patients hospitalized, 14 patients under ICU level of care, and 7 requiring ventilator support. As the numbers climb and Guam continues to see more COVID-related deaths, it is imperative that we take the necessary precautions, wash your hands, wear your mask, and continue to social distance. A Guam Behavioral Health Children's Home now under lockdown after several staff and clients tested positive for the coronavirus. Our Peter Santos reports.
Everything's normal, with the exception of them being told they're positive.
A children's group home overseen by Guam Behavioral Health is now on lockdown as both the clients and the staff have tested positive for the virus.
The bottom line is everyone is doing well. The clients are doing well. They're bored because they're bored, and we're trying to get them to stay in their rooms and isolate. But in reality, the whole house is in isolation.
According to Director Ariola, there are currently 7 staff and 3 clients that tested positive in the group home. Of the 3 clients that have tested positive, 2 of them are 16 years old, the third being only 9 years old. Ariola says they are all asymptomatic at this time and that operations will continue as usual.
The operation of the house is ongoing. Actually, we have, the nurses at Public Health check on our clients and check on the whole home. And then I have sent our Guam Behavioral Health nurses to check on them daily. So I get a 2 times a day report on how the house is doing. And as late as last night's report is everyone's doing well, still asymptomatic.
In addition to the daily checks by behavioral health nurses and the Department of Public Health, monitoring sheets are given out daily. As of right now, there are 2 staff members supervising the 3 clients at the group home, all of whom fall under the responsibility of Director Ariola, who turns to faith when it seems too much to bear.
It's very heavy for a director because they are my responsibility. It's a very heavy responsibility. And I pray a lot. People who know me know I pray a lot, but I've never prayed more.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Peter Santos.
Inhumane and unnecessary. That's how Jaylene Cruz describes the policy that is stopping her from being by her husband's side as he faces life-changing surgery at the Guam Regional Medical City. Nestor Lecanto reports.
His greatest fear is he's worrying about dying alone.
Jaylene Cruz's husband has been hospitalized for more than a week. He's been calling daily, crying for help, the pain hard to bear. For the last 20 years, Jaylene has been his caregiver, never leaves his side, always there for him, except now.
The last thing the patient should be doing is worrying about being alone. They should be worrying about getting better.
She says GRMC needs to change its caregiver policy, even in this time of COVID.
In the United States, there are many hospitals that are allowing caregivers, not visitors. I understand, not visitors because of COVID-19, but I think they're being a little over paranoid. You know, the virus has been here since January. It's going to be here. Are we going to keep locking our caregivers out from our loved ones? Are we going to keep separating them? There has to be doctors out there for the doctor advisory board who can put their heads together, and the senators and everybody have a little compassion. Families should not be going through this. It's unnecessary.
Her husband's health has deteriorated. He's now dealing with the devastating news that he faces amputation. In his most vulnerable moment, he needs the one person who has always been there for him. Desperate, Jaylene has reached out to everyone she could think of for help. The hospital, senators, the governor, and now the media.
Time is running out for me. My husband has a major surgery on Thursday that's going to change his life forever. And I need to be with him.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
We reached out to GRMC for comment, but are still waiting on a response. We told you their story yesterday. 3 sisters stuck in a GovGuam quarantine facility, pleading with the government to expedite testing in order for them to home quarantine and mourn the loss of their sister with family. Despite their hardship exemption previously denied, late last night the sisters were released. DPHSS tells KUAM on the link this morning that they worked with the family to find a solution which all parties agreed to. However, there is still confusion with the hardship exemption from quarantine protocols. Public Health Liaison Officer Bertha Tijeron explains the process for applying for the request.
You would have to first go to the government's quarantine facility. You would be sent transported directly to the QVAC from the airport. And after that, you will be assessed and screened by a team of public health professionals.
She adds, while requests may be made prior to arriving, the standard procedures require everyone to go to the QVAC for screening. The exemption requests are reviewed on a case-by-case basis.
If they're coming in for, as an example, a death of a family member, they would probably just need to submit like an obituary or some kind of supporting document like a death certificate. If they're coming in for another hardship, such as a family member who's in hospice care, what I would normally do is ask them to provide maybe some information on the name of the hospice.
You can view the full interview on our YouTube page. Following proper safety protocols, the faithful of Guam were finally allowed to attend indoor religious services for the first time since PCOR 1. Tyler Matanani reports.
Father Richard Kidd of Santa Rita says the numbers showed that parishioners were happy to return to indoor masses.
We were full to capacity based on the protocol and social distancing, and those that couldn't fit inside the church, we have 2 20 by 20 canopies in the front of the church, so the folks went outside. And then those that couldn't fit under the canopy were parked in their cars. When it comes to being sanitary, I think most people have the common sense to know, cover your mouth, wash your hands.
Father Paul Goffigan of Jigo says that in the future, he hopes the governor will allow all places of worship to have a seat at the table to discuss just how essential places of worship are, especially through trying times brought on by the pandemic.
Now we're really finding out that there are a lot of people out there who need people to talk to, who are having issues, who are thinking of, committing suicide.
Father Paul adds that the focus should have been not only on the coronavirus itself, but also on the emotional, spiritual, and psychological effects produced by the pandemic. As we reported, the Archdiocese of Agana made the decision on their own that they were going to hold religious services this past weekend. The following day, Guadalupe announced the governor was giving her blessing by authorizing all religious groups to hold indoor services, but at 25% capacity and following public health guidelines. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Thank you, Tyler. President Trump returned to the White House on Monday evening, 3 days after he was hospitalized with COVID-19. In a video posted on Twitter, the president said he's feeling better and urged people not to fear the coronavirus. Skylar Henning reports from Washington.
President Trump emerged from Walter Reed Army Medical Center wearing a surgical mask. He flashed a thumbs-up sign, then walked to his motorcade without assistance. After a short flight aboard Marine One, the president climbed the South Lawn stairs, then removed his mask and recorded a video message.
I learned so much about coronavirus, and one thing that's for certain, don't let it dominate you. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment, we have the best medicines, all developed recently.
The president's doctor says he will continue to undergo treatment at the White House.
Though he may not entirely be out of the woods yet, the team and I agree that all our evaluations, and most importantly, his clinical status, support the president's safe return home.
Dr. Conley said the president would be closely monitored for the next week.
If we can get through to Monday with him remaining the same or improving, better yet, then we will all take that final deep sigh of relief.
At least 19 people with ties to the White House have tested positive for the coronavirus, including 2 Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Next week, it's slated to take up the Supreme Court nomination for Amy Coney Barrett.
This body will not cease to function just because Democrats are afraid they may lose a vote.
On Monday, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell postponed Senate floor activity for the next 2 weeks, but said the Supreme Court hearing will go forward as planned. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
While we've all been through a lot over the years,
typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19,
we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years,
Travel's Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
and the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Want a real taste of New York? The Big New Yorker is back with a big, bold taste and a sweet marinara sauce on a crust that's 30% larger than our large. Handmade to perfection. It's just $9.99 per carryout. The Big New Yorker, only at your island Pizza Hut.
When I need to pay my Docomo Pacific bills or manage my account, all I do is visit mydocomopacific.com. It's easy to set up. I just visit the website and click on the link to set up my account. I filled out the registration page starting with my account number. I received a text message with a temporary username and password. After making initial changes on my security settings, I'm in! Now I can make payments or manage my Docomo Pacific account without needing to leave home. With Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. We know of the Republican and Democratic parties, but do you know of the Progressive Democrats of Guam? Tony Azayos and Julian Jansen joined the link this morning to discuss the philosophy, principles, and platform of the PDG.
We do share a certain set of values and policy goals, and those can include at the very least, greatly expanding healthcare, if not pushing for healthcare for all, environmental protection, workers' rights and safety, issues like that.
Zayo says that generally the PDG searches for bolder solutions to what is often discussed between the two major parties. He also says that the group originally came together to muster up support for Bernie Sanders for Guam's caucus. And in fact, some of their founding members were elected to serve and attend the DNC to represent Sanders and his voters. Currently, the PDG is sending out surveys to the candidates that will give them a sense of how strongly they support the PDG's core issues.
We're asking about unemployment insurance, ensuring that there won't be layoffs for government workers, because there's Action PAC and certain segments in the legislature who are trying to push for reducing the BPT.
In addition, the survey will also include fair compensation for essential workers and healthcare for all. The PDG is also asking potential senators to commit to increasing the resources available for protecting the environment.
We are really just a collection of concerned citizens. We are a grassroots group that is not taking any donations from anyone. This is all just volunteer time, and what we are spending is out of our own pockets because we believe that our government could be doing better. We are interested in hearing more of our candidates speak to the issues that thousands of Guam voters care about.
The deadline for candidates to respond to the PDG survey is this Friday. So far, only 2 have responded. Department of Defense Education Activity, Pacific and local military leadership recently conducted a COVID-19 tabletop exercise at Commander William C. McCool Elementary and Middle School. The exercise was designed to put DODEA staff and military partners through a series of scenarios that could occur when Guam DODEA schools reopen to classroom learning. Joint Region Mariana's Emergency Management Planner, Tiana Guerrero, said, quote, "It was important to determine gaps or shortfalls in the plan and take action to remedy them prior to schools reopening. The scenarios we discussed can easily turn into real-world situations, and by preparing now, we can better handle unknown variables before they occur." DODEA and military officials are evaluating the possibility of restarting classroom learning by continuing to monitor COVID cases island-wide, as well as school safety and response plans. News out of the Department of Corrections as Public Health has completed COVID testing of more than 700 inmates and detainees at the Adult Correctional Facility, Women's Facility, the Community Correctional Facility, and the Hagåtña Detention Center. According to DOC, all tests returned negative and DOC remains COVID-free. AIDS Care China, a community support group in Guangzhou, China for people with HIV/AIDS, donated 30,000 surgical masks to the University of Guam Endowment Foundation for its Guam COVID-19 response project. Guam Memorial Hospital received 20,000 of the masks in September. Guam Behavioral and Wellness Center received 1,000, and 9,000 will support the work of the UOG School of Health and other frontline healthcare workers. Executive Director for the endowment, Katrina Perez, says, "In these unprecedented times, it is wonderful to see individuals band together and to have donors from both near and far helping the community of Guam." And with regional headlines, here's KSPN2 News.
Hafa Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI.
On Wednesday, IPI asked the Commonwealth Casino Commission to support its request for an amendment to their current agreement. CCC Chairman Edward De Leon Guerrero.
$3,150,000 is due for the casino regulatory fee. Public land is owed $250,000 on the land lease. I cannot imagine how you, Mr. Brown, or anyone who has no knowledge, no authority over the money, can negotiate on behalf of IPI with the Lottery Commission when the question is, what authority do you have? Do you know where the money is coming from? Do you have authority over that money or no? Should we invite whoever you're talking to in Hong Kong to come to Saipan and appear before the Lottery Commission to talk about that?
Those comments from Wednesday, money due yesterday. Finance Chief David Attelig says the money did not come. Tao Xing represented IPI at the meeting. He did not have many answers for the commissioners, but he did ask them to support another amendment to the licensing agreement.
If we have a commitment on the Amendment 9, that in that case we have a clear picture in terms of our future obligations. And it will be, much easier for us to convince the funding source to fund us, right? Once the money reaches the company, the CEO has authority. If the money is not here, of course we have no authority, right? I mean, you're correct. So that's why I want to make sure that you all have a copy of Amendment number 9, that if you have any suggestions, recommendations, let us know, but we are asking for your support.
Chairman called that request insulting.
We thought you learned your lesson. You obviously didn't do it again. But every month since that time, we reminded IPI about the annual license fee and about the casino regulatory fee. And every month, up until last month, you told us that yes, those are major obligations that have been locked in by the company to honor. Every month, until about a month and a half ago. So for you to come at the 11th hour and expect the Lottery Commission to quickly grant you that, there's no sense. And we reached the point where it's enough.
Again, we're asking for your support. I really appreciate it if you could give us a new start.
Whatever's there in the lottery, in the casino lottery agreement, then that's the business of the commission, not to make negotiation as far as what IPI wants.
Tomorrow, based on the casino license agreement, 20 million is due. That will make you 56 million in the hole.
For more news, visit SciPNTV.com. For KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Thank you, Ashley. And keep it here, more primetime news when we return.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
As a kid, your dad always taught you new things. As an adult, he probably still does. Pedro just got his very first paycheck from his very first job. The only trouble is, he's not sure exactly how to deposit his check into his account. But Dad, as usual, knows exactly what to do. Using a Bank of Guam tutorial, Dad teaches Pedro how to access his money without ever stepping foot in the bank. There are many ways we can show our love, and teaching is one. Find easy-to-use online banking tutorials at bankofguam.com or on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Bank of Guam, member FDIC.
Welcome back. This morning, Clinical Program Director for Malik Naha'ani Bright Futures, Beverlyn Coleman, spoke about the upcoming webinar, Trauma Talks for Mental Wellness.
So, as we work with our partnership with the Guam Department of Education, we decided to go ahead and put out a webinar. It's a parent webinar, but it's really offered to the community. Of course, the target audience would be parents and guardians, and it's called Trauma Talk, Tips for Mental Wellness for the Whole Family in the Face of Trauma. And as Father Richard and Father Paul and Mrs. Galen Cruz were talking, I mean, if that doesn't tell you the kinds of mental stressors that all these families are dealing with, let alone the kids, then I mean, I don't know what else to say. And this is definitely needed now. And so the intent of the webinar is to just talk to parents to recognize signs of trauma or any kind of mental health concerns as their kids are at home. You know, usually the first person to contact the parents would be the schools. You know, the teachers see the kids every day. They might notice a change in their behavior. The school counselor's office is right down the hall where they can go and sit and talk, even if they just need a minute. But they don't have that right now, and they don't have access to that. So it's really, you know, more of the pressures on the parents in addition to their stressors to try to help their kids cope through this, as we all are. And so the webinar, we just felt was the best way we could reach out to the community and help our families.
What are, I guess, some of the signs of trauma?
So some of the signs of trauma, they mimic depression. So it's the, you know, lack of sleep or not sleeping at all, not having a great appetite, just not really connecting with their friends, because I can tell you, you know, my goddaughter, she's at home, but, you know, they're still texting each other. She's still FaceTimes with her friends. And so that's still that connection they have. So if parents are noticing that they're not really interacting with their friends as much, even if they're online school or doing the worksheets, they're not really focusing, they're having trouble just putting thoughts together. Those are some of the real general signs that they can look out for. It mimics depression, but so it looks the same.
Is this just for GDOE parents, or is this open to everybody?
Yes, this webinar is open to everybody. It's open to parents, guardians, stakeholders in the community that just want to learn more about our program and what we do and how we can better help our youth. The program itself, Malek Nahani, once we start implementing our services, we're kind of starting out with a narrow scope because we're such a new program. So we are concentrating on 3 schools. And those schools were basically identified by GDOE based on the number of referrals that were received through those schools.
Okay. So wait, did you say it's on a referral basis?
With our program, yes.
Oh, okay.
So with Malek Nahani, the intent was, when this program started, was to address the trauma that kids experienced as they went through Typhoon Mangkhut. But I mean, the same thing can be said for this pandemic that we're going through now.
Coming up, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout out. Don't go away.
Home, a place where I can go to take this off my shoulders. Someone take me home.
Home. It's more than wood, square footage, and a floor plan. It's where life happens, and moments become etched into memories. At Bank of Hawaii, we're proud to help families all across Guam buy and improve their home. Applying takes just a few moments, but the memories last a lifetime. Simplified by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
100% truck, 100% Jeep brand. The all-new Jeep Gladiator is the most capable off-road mid-size pickup truck crafted for adventure. Equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary Jeep brand 4x4 capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a brand new Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $283 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to get pre-approved today.
You could upgrade to the sparkly sprinkle pack on Cupcake Conquest. Or you could upgrade to all this. 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. Plus the beefy cheesy layers of the Grande Stacker Box. Only at Taco Bell.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It is October 6th, so we say happy birthday to Austin Guerrero Chargaloff, whose loved ones are saying happiest of birthday blessings to our #1 Golden State Warrior fan, Stephen Clay and Draymond. KD, well, not KD anymore. He's 11 years old. Austin, Here's to hoops of fun on your day. Love your fan club, Mom, Dad, Tori, Julianne, Grams, and the rest of them on the bench. Oh man, I love the basketball analogy. Good job, family. Jacob Jose Mafnes, happy birthday number 8 to our grandson. We love you and hope you enjoyed your day. Love Papa, Auntie Jennifer, Daddy, Mommy, Ariana, Gabriel, and Anaya, and of course, Amnea. Happy birthday. Brock Matanani, the one and only, happy birthday number 11 to the Brock Star. Brock, you are a budding TikTok star. You're a wonderful kid, and we at your KUAM family join your family up in Jigo and all over the world in celebrating you, and we wish you a very, very happy birthday, especially from your mom, Sissy Tyler, and Dad. Danny Uggan, happy birthday to Dad with lots more blessings. Love the family. And happy belated birthday wishes to Maxi Santos, who was born on October 5th. Happy birthday to you from your familia, your siblings, nieces, nephews, children, and God's children. Love you and wish you many more blessings. That is an outstanding group of Guamanians, each and every one of them. We wish you the happiest birthday ever.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and be safe.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show today, Torgan Smith, president of the Guam National Tennis Federation, and Cindy Nagayan, who is the director over at the Guam Sports Complex Tennis Center. Now, first off, Torgan, congratulations. You guys been open for already 10 days. And besides golf, tennis is the only other sport where residents have access to and are able to participate in the sport itself.
We have seen a lot of literature and things from CDC and different places that mention tennis as one of the safest things you can do sport-wise, or it's mentioned along with takeout food and sort of a safe thing to do. It's naturally distant. Players are on opposite side of the court. You can use separate tennis balls if you want to go to that extreme and just only touch the tennis balls that you're using. And we've limited the participation to you basically come to the tennis center and you play your reserve time, and then you move on. There's no we do like to have socializing and hanging out after the tennis, but right now we're not doing that. And after your tennis is done, you take off, and we'll see you next time. Coming and just playing and then leaving is the key thing. The no hanging out or socializing is the important thing. We do the temperature checks when they arrive, and then the game is pretty much social distance normally.
And Cindy, you are the director at the tennis center. Have you seen an influx in new members, and what's the interaction like with the members that do show up?
So we definitely have seen an increase in membership, and we've seen a lot of people coming in as walk-ons or just, generating interest. We are right across from the walking park, and so people will stop by and see, and they notice our lights on, and people have been asking about how safe tennis is. And my staff is highly trained in keeping the social distance rules, and they're really, really adamant about making sure our members are safe. And so we've seen a lot of people come and play, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. People feel safe. People are wearing masks around the court. Some people choose to wear masks on the court, and we definitely support. It's been great.
And what are some of the things that you have in store for members? I mean, I know we're far away from competition type setting, but are you guys doing instructional classes, one-to-one, or just out there just enjoying time on the court?
So we have 6 courts that are available, like full-sized regulation courts, and 5 of them are reserved for members where they can play singles, which is 1-on-1, or doubles, 2 versus 2. And there's 1 full instructional court, which I run. And I normally do private lessons, and I have classes with 4 people per class. It used to be 8, but we narrowed it down to 4 just because we're still, you know, P-Core 1, want to keep that social distancing, which is still enough people and enough space on the tennis court, because the tennis court is big, and we're able to run small little instructional classes. In the future, I'm really hoping even soon, really, that we can start up some individual singles matches and everything and start up leagues again, because we can still make a competition and still keep it safe, especially since the staff is there to regulate, to make sure people are staying far apart. And, you know, we're really adamant about keeping a fun and healthy environment.
Hey, we're really hoping to have our Chamorro Open. It'll be the 48th annual Chamorro Open for 2020, but fortunately we're running out of 2020, so I'm not sure we'll be able to squeeze it in. But that's normally played in February, March time, and we're still holding hope that we can have some version of the 48th annual Chamorro Open.
And for anybody out there that wants to get more information on how to register or open court time, how can they get in contact with the Tennis Federation?
Well, they can go to the website. It's probably the easiest and best way, and that's the easy to remember, gntf.org. That's Guam National Tennis Federation, gntf.org. And then on there, you'll find a GNTC, which is the Guam National Tennis Center link. And from there, you can register to book a court, even if you're a member, non-member. And then there's also contact numbers on the website, and they can contact me or Cindy. And Cindy, you have some other contact you want to give?
Yes, we also just started up an Instagram, the Guam National Tennis Center, so you can follow us there, and it's really easy to direct message me. I kept my California number, so people get a little bit confused by that. So the Instagram would be the best way, or just email cindy@gntf.org. Those are the 2 easiest ways to reach me.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in, getting some brownie points, or witnessing a miracle. Sorry, Jess. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Claire Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. Albeit 2020 has been a year filled with uncertainty, filled with challenges and loss, it has also been a year that has provided us some time to pause, to reset, to reflect, and for some of us to explore different passions, untapped gifts and talents that we might not have explored if we didn't make this time or actually have this time. Today, I have Shelly Calvo, who has really delved deep into her creative palette and is sharing some of her works that she has on YouTube. Welcome, Shelly.
Hi Claire, hi everyone, thank you for having me over. This is Shelly Calvo and I would like to share with you guys what I've been doing the last 6 to 7 months of being self-quarantined. So I had been cooking up a storm and I started my cooking show, which is The Dining Diva. You'll see it in YouTube, in Facebook, and Instagram. And of course, I've also been painting a lot, and I'd like to share with you guys some of my artwork. I hope you guys like it, so here you go.
Thank you, Shelley, and thank you all. Stay inspired, stay uplifted, and stay safe. I'll see you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
Want a real taste of New York? The Big New Yorker is back with a big, bold taste and a sweet marinara sauce on a crust that's 30% larger than our large. Handmade to perfection. It's just $9.99 per carryout. The Big New Yorker, only at your island Pizza Hut.
Think about it. This is the 36th anniversary of October named as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The KUAM Care Force encourages you to think pink this October with our social media presentation, Pink About It, on October 22nd, and our KUAM News 5-part series, Awareness is Power, airing from the 19th to the 23rd, featuring a few incredible cancer warriors and the importance of screening and managing this disease. Think Pink is brought to you by Island Cancer Center.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
On the outside, Madison Allen looks like a typical healthy 22-year-old, but her mom says on the inside, she's been left with significant lung disease.
She is prone to pneumonia, so every time she gets pneumonia, that just builds more scar tissue.
into her lungs.
Madison, who had sports-induced asthma, was hospitalized at the age of 12 with flu B and pneumonia. She spent weeks on life support and dialysis, with her kidneys failing.
She had a 1% chance of survival.
That year, unlike previous years, Madison had not received her flu shot. A new study emphasizes how critical the vaccine can be for children. Researchers looked at records from several pediatric medical centers during the 2018-2019 flu season, a season that did not have a well-matched vaccine for one of the viruses circulating.
Anywhere between 40% and close to 50% based on the type of influenza the vaccine was able to prevent. 1/3 to 1/2 of all hospitalizations and emergency room visits.
Thousands of children are hospitalized every year with the flu, and some die. The vaccine is recommended for everyone over 6 months old. Study author Dr. Marian Michaels is with Children's Hospital Pittsburgh. She reminds parents that the flu can have serious complications for any child.
And it's not always children who have underlying medical illnesses. Sometimes it is perfectly healthy children.
Shelley now works with the organization Families Fighting Flu.
I'm her mother. I was supposed to protect her that year and every year. And unfortunately, that year, I didn't do my job.
She wants to get the word out to more parents that skipping the flu shot could mean life or death. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
100% truck, 100% Jeep brand. The all-new Jeep Gladiator is the most capable off-road mid-size pickup truck crafted for adventure. Equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary Jeep brand 4x4 capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a brand new Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $283 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to get pre-approved today.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed. House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Hey everybody, welcome back to House to Home, where we are continuing our series on talking to prominent government officials about various things that affect the real estate market. I have Gina Campos and Liz Duenas from Remax Diamond Realty, and we are joined by a very good friend of ours, Daphne Shimazu, the Director of the Department of Revenue and Taxation. Ladies, half a day, and good to see all of you.
Half a day.
Okay, Liz is, of course, coming to us from her palatial mansion with all those wonderful pictures in the background. I know I'm very familiar with Daphne's very busy office right there. So, Daph, of course, we thank you and your staff at the agency for all the work that you're doing. And apparently, Gina's coming to us from the Bay Area.
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing our virtual traveling since we can't do it any other way.
Very good. Well, I'm partial to Tumon Bay, but, that's just me. But, there are certainly more pressing issues afoot right now, like the reason why the three of us are gathering, or the four of us are gathering here.
Yeah.
Oh, please, ladies.
Well, we wanted to thank Daphne for joining us. I know you have such a busy schedule. And through the process of meeting with other government officials, of course, we felt that it was very important to have you online to kind of brief us and the community about what's happening up at Rev and Tax. And I know the processes have changed somewhat, and due to our current situation, we'd like to see what is available for the community to use in terms of online processing, making our lives so much easier, since trying to go up there is more of a chore with the long lines and everything. So why don't you give us a brief update on what's going on with Rev and Tax?
Sure, and thank you so much for having me, Liz and Gina and Jason. Really appreciate it, so we could get the word out. Of course, at Rev and Tax, we've been working to try to identify as many of the things that we do that we can continue to provide, as services to our community, even during the time when we are actually not able to do face-to-face services because we're in PCOR 1. The first time we were in PCOR 1, obviously, we didn't know how long we were going to be in that situation. And all of this was very new. When we came into PCOR 1 this next time, we knew, as we've been kind of contemplating or thinking about what's going to be happening, that likely this, restricting and relaxing of restrictions, going in and out of PCOR 1 to PCOR 2 and 3 is probably something that we're going to see for a while. So we knew that it's important for us to have some level of, in terms of services, being able to provide services to our community, even when we are not able to, actually see people face to face. And so, as much as possible, we encourage people to do things online already. If you go to our website, you can find, in our the help section, there's actually a section there that will tell you what types of taxes you could pay online, or actually what things you could pay online, because you could already pay for your real property taxes, you can pay for your income taxes, anything related to collections. Those things can actually already be done online. And we actually have, a wide range of items that you can pay online. There are things that we've been able to do online for a while. For example, business license renewals are able to be done online. So for those individuals, if you don't have a clearance issue, you can go ahead, log in online, and you can actually renew your licenses online. You can also do vehicle registrations renewals online. And so those are things that we have seen. Something that, I think that what we believe is a success for us is, for example, in our vehicle registrations, the renewals, where in fiscal year 2017, we saw about 4,000 renewals online. Fiscal year 18, we saw about 6,000. Fiscal year 19, we saw about a little bit less than 9,000. And fiscal year 2020, as of August 20, we saw over 20,000 renewals for vehicle registrations online. That's 12,000 more vehicles that were registered online than just the prior year. And that's even with 1 month left in this fiscal year. So, our goal and our strategy is to do to utilize that kind of as a basis where we are able to move toward doing things more online, so that we can, reduce the amount of customer contact that's required for what we do. Now, there is a pathway to it. There is, of course, procurement issues that we have to address as we work toward, getting to that area where we're able to do things online. But in the meantime, because we wanted to be able to provide options for our people, there are things that are now available to be done by mail, not online yet, but by mail. So for example, one big question was about disabled placards. Can we get our disabled placards, through another mechanism? So we're going to be announcing, actually this is going to be announced today, that we're going to be able to receive disabled placards through the mail, the disabled placard applications through the mail, so that we can mail them out to, the individuals who have disabled placards or are in need of them. Probably mid-August, we actually, for the first time ever, we began to receive renewals for driver's licenses, non-real ID compliant, through the mail. We expanded that so that now you can not only do a renewal of a driver's license by mail, but also a replacement, a conversion.
Miss Daphne, those are all really critical issues, but I think we also wanted to take a little bit of time to address maybe things that are related to real estate where our industry is impacted. For instance, people that are applying for brand new licenses, brand new rental licenses, for instance. Right now, we have to first make an appointment to go there. So, you kind of have to line up because the line is long to get in there, but you have to make an appointment to get in there in order to clear some of the so in order to get your business license, you got to clear the collections, GRT, income tax, right? And that's not online. May I ask if that's part of your, of what you're looking towards automating so that we can do those clearances online?
Well, absolutely. And you know what, I'm so happy that you asked that question, Gina. And thank you, because I could talk about all of our services like all day long. But with regards to business licenses, and most especially, of course, we wanted to address the issue so that we noticed that our business community was having, we actually, even though we had seen, of course, news about perhaps businesses closing, we actually got a lot of requests for new business licenses. So, like in Labor Day, I was actually meeting with my team to discuss with them how we might be able to issue new business licenses, even during the time when we're in peak or one, when we're not able to do customer facing services. So we actually launched in this past, I think last week, we launched a new form, a new business license for application form. It's form BL01, and we're accepting that by Dropbox and by mail. Last Friday, I checked with my team. We had actually received several new business license applications. We've been working also with our team, and just to share with you, back last year in October 2019, what we did at the Business License Permit Center, it's formerly known as One Stop, was we made it so that for individuals who had to get a tax clearance, but we're going to apply for a business license, you could just go strictly, you could actually clear there. So prior to October 2019, if you went to apply for a business license and you were at the One Stop or the Business License Permit Center, if you had a tax clearance issue, you would actually still have to come to Barrigada. We made it so that we have an individual there in collections who can clear collections, EPT, income tax, and then we also have a real property tax person who can clear real property as well. So we made it so that that way for those businesses, or those individuals who are trying to get a license, if you needed a clearance, then you could go to one place. But we've also worked, of course, we've had to work to make sure we refine that process. And in our release that we're going to issue today, our volume 8, it'll indicate that really for all clearances, for all tax clearances, we have a single person or a single group, I guess, that's going to be able to assist with that. You can communicate with them. And we've actually been working as much as possible electronically and over the phone to help people to do tax clearances. And I know this because, and especially in the last few weeks where we've been working to issue new business licenses through this new process, we've been assisting people, and I've gotten communications on that. So we're definitely working to address those.
So Daphne, are you saying? So Daphne, are you saying we will be able to apply for the business license, a new one, online, and perhaps even get GRT, income tax, and collection clearances online? Or are you saying that the form is online and we have to download it and then send it in by mail or Dropbox?
Right now it's a manual process, Gina. So right now, and of course that's something we're working on. We believe that, ultimately to have it be able to be done online, that's our goal. But at this point, because, we don't have that option available, but we don't want to